whatever is been asked? Anybody have faced any issues in doing that? Require help? Have you all of you have understood nav, how to use nav and how to modify it as per the requirement?
Sir, how to increase the image size?
Yeah, share your screen. Who is this?
Yeah, sir, Shivani.
Yeah, Shivani. Image size you want to increase, you give the width and height.
Okay. Okay, sir, I will do.
Okay, width equal to, you give it as suppose 500 px, height equal to 500 px. So with that width and height, your image will appear.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts, guys? Yes? Okay, fine. Shall we continue the concept session?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, we have a sprint for this nav where you will be using this navbar concept. So that sprint I'm going to roll out once after this conceptation is done. Okay. Okay. Okay, next thing is what? See, we have done with the BootStrap, navbar. So one more time, what is navbar? Navbar means every website in the top you will see a navbar where the website name or the website logo or the navigation menus would be placed. So BootStrap is coming up with some classes of navbar. Through that, you can get a ready-made navbar for your application. BootStrap navbar with a normal image. So once you have the navbar ready in the top of or header portion of the application, then below to that header portion or below to the navbar, you can have an image also, which looks like a normal image. BootStrap navbar, see, you can have a BootStrap image, normal image, and you can have a fluid image. Can you tell me what is the difference between BootStrap fluid image and normal image?
It will
fluid image is fit to the screen.
Of the
fluid means it will spread across the div. So whatever divs width and height is there, it is going to be covering all the div. And normal image means what is the height and width of the image? That much height with that much height and width, it is going to be there in the div, in the outer div. Okay. Next is BootStrap button variations. Okay, can you, if I ask you, if I want a success button, what would be the class?
button success.
Tell me the proper name, not button success.
BTN success.
Yeah, BTN hyphen success, right?
Success.
Yeah. So if I want the dark button,
BTN hyphen dark.
Danger.
BTN hyphen danger.
Yeah, warning. So whichever, but you just check it out your requirement, what type of button you want, and that class you add it in the button element. That's it. Your look and feel of the button would be that way. Fine. So already you have discussed in buttons so much, so you can explore some of the other button classes as well. So for that purpose, what I will do, 1 second, I will go to see what are the other button classes are there in BootStrap. See, these are already there. Another set of, but yeah. Can you tell me how you are going to get the submit button in a primary, all or primary? You tell me, because of what is the difference between this button? What is the difference between this button and what is the difference between this button?
Those are the solid colors.
Yeah, and this is?
This is only the border.
Yeah, so which class makes this button and which class makes the solid button, solid color button?
Button outline.
Outline.
Yeah. Yeah, so this adding a before primary and before BTN with a hyphen, you add outline. So primary look and feel with the outline effect. Secondary look and feel with the outline effect. Success look and feel with the outline effect. And when you hover the button, that time the color will be displayed. But over here, the color would be displayed on the page load only. Okay, clear? Similar fashion, you have a large button and you have a, so how to get, what is the class you should use for getting a large button? Tell me.
Button,
LG.
BTN.
LG at the
LG.
end.
Hyphen LG.
Yeah, BTN hyphen LG, no? This makes the button as large button. Okay, BTN primary, it makes the button like this. It makes the button like this. To make it bigger, I'm going to add another class, which is there in the library. What is that class? BTN hyphen LG. Clear? So sometimes from the one class, you may not get what you want. So you have to add multiple classes for that to get that desired result. Understood? Now, can you tell me what make this button a small button?
Button hyphen SM.
Yeah, button hyphen SM. So that makes the button a small button. Can you tell me over here one button is disable, it is not clickable. What makes this button disable? What makes this button disable? Not clickable?
Secondary button.
Disabled.
See, for the disability, for making a button disable, we don't have any class for that. We have to use the disable text inside
Property.
the opening as a property inside the opening button tag. Okay, disable property, you have to add it like that. Then how you are going to get a button which is spread across the whole, across the width of the screen? How you'll get it?
Hide button.
No, tell me. This is the code. From the code, you have to tell me what makes this button
Create
bigger.
Primary.
Div.
Yeah.
Grid,
So
grid,
yeah.
yeah.
So when we have two buttons which who and both the buttons should be they are in the total width of the screen. For that, both the button you put it under div, and div you make it d grid gap 2. So this is the gap 2 means this, and d grid means throughout the screen width wise it is going to be placed like that. Okay. So all these things are there. You just go through. This is a good link for refer for button functionality. There are so many other button related classes are there. Okay. So that you need to, more you explore, more you will get to know. Okay. Button is done. Next we'll go for the next topic. What is next topic? See, active primary, disable link. So these are the different types of button, and for every type there is a class. You are going to use it. Okay, next thing is what? Next thing is a bootstrap cards. Any idea what is called cards in a website terminology? What is called cards in a website terminology?
Image and
Sir,
text together.
Sorry.
like when we click on cards, it gives us reference to the new websites.
Yeah, that is one way. It is
and-
okay, but not the correct answer which I am looking for. What you call it as a cart in website? Card is actually a section. Card is actually a section in the web page which has a header portion, which has a body portion, and which has a footer portion. Getting? See, both these things consider as a card. Why? Because it has a featured, which is a header. It has a body, which is this, and it has got 2 days go like a footer portion. So whenever there is a section where different type of contents are there in terms of header, body, and footer, that type of content of the website is considered as a card. Is it clear? Have you understood what is card?
Yes, sir. Yes,
A
sir.
card is a section in a website which will have multiple elements combined together in a one div, and where that div we have a header part, that div will have a body part as well as that div has the footer part. We are going to discuss some card related. So this also this is a card which is little bit animated card. So when you click over here, one second, yeah, when you click over here, some hidden text will appear as a footer and to the bottom. And when you click over here, it is going to, in the right hand side, it's going to slide little bit light, and you are going to get something in the left hand side. Okay. Now bootstrap component. Now before go to the carousel, let's have a let's discuss about demo code on cards. Okay. Yeah, what is the card demo code? Card.html. Okay, if you run it, see, you will see this is a card and this is also a card. Now you see the code. You have seen the output. Now you see the code. In a first card, left hand side card, there is a picture which can be considered as a header part of the card, and there is a content which can be considered as a body part, and the link can be considered as a footer part of the card. So how they have created this this section of the website, let's check it out. So first thing, this is called, now can you tell me, there is a row, there is a div row, and then there is a two div. I have a question over here. Which div are column div over here? Tell me the line number of the div which is a
14.
column div.
14.
14.
Yeah.
And
then
34.
second, say, yeah. So for 12 and 34 is nothing but column div. Okay. Now, this one, column div. Now, can you tell me what column div is having?
Card.
Yeah, column div is having image. Okay, column div is having image, and then column div is having another small div inside, and then column div is having unordered list, and then the column div is having another div. So first is the image, second div is a card body. So card title, some quick example. See, card title, some quick example. It is, since this div is nothing but the acts as a body of the card. So that's why what class I will be referring? I'll be referring card body. Okay, getting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, yeah, after card body, I have some unordered list. So this will come from here, unordered list. In the unordered list, I have a first item, second item, and third item. In all the unordered list, all the item, I'm going to make it as list group item. Okay, so when you make it as list group item, you'll get this kind of border kind of effect, you will get it. Suppose I will not give this group item. I will not give this group item. So I will not make this as the list group item. That means if you do Control S and if you come over here, see, you are getting dot, and there is no, what is it called, border between the three unordered list. So to make it little bit more professional and make it little bit more list type without bulleted sign and one below another with a border, for that purpose we have used this. For that purpose we have used this one, list group item. So list group item will remove the bulleted point, and it's going to give a border, and it's going to give you a proper padding and margin with the other part of the card. Next thing, you have another div, and this div is called as card body. So we have a two body over here. One, this body, which is having card title and some text, and then we have the unordered list, which is this one, and then you have another card body. So if you go here, another card body means card link and another link. So second card body will have card link as a hyperlink and another link as a hyperlink. And whenever the link is a part of the card link, the class will be used as card link. Okay, class will be another link. We are going to make the class as card link. Okay, getting? Whenever the list item is the part of the card, the list for every list item, I'll use list group item, and in the unordered part of the unordered element, I'm going to add a class list group flash. So what this does, let me see. I also don't know what this does. By disabling its effect and enabling it back, I will get to know what it is doing. So for that purpose, what I will do, I'll save it and I'll run it. So you got this one, fine. Now what I will do, I'll go for list group 1, unordered list, flush unordered list. So what happened if you run it? See, there are, so that means list group, unordered list, this class, this list group and list group flash is giving some, means it is placing the content below to the body of the card and it looks better. It was not giving any extra spaces or margin left for that unordered list item. If you come over here, you can you get the classes effect appear or applied, and if you see it, see it will. So that means with the card, with the left hand side border of the card, your unordered list is placed properly so that it look good. Card link. What is card link? You have some link. I'm going to remove that. It's card link 1. So that means card link effect, you will not get it for the 2 link. Control S. If you click over a C, you will get a normal link. If you will get a link, but it is not a professional look and feel. It is look like a beginner developer look and feel. Like that link will appear. So what you do over here, I'll let it come with the card link only. So you will get a professional look and feel for the link. Look like this. So that is all about card. So card will have a body, card will have a header, and card will have a footer. But here they have used only header, only 2 body. Card title, this much is 1 body. Then you have an unordered list, and then another body you have a link. Like that they have mentioned. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Or it's okay? Okay, fine. Next important which we are going to discuss is carousel. Anybody knows what is carousel is all about? What is carousel term in website? By seeing the picture, can you tell me what is carousel?
Slider.
Sir, I guess the captions.
Sorry?
Sir, the captions under the image.
Slider, sir.
Yeah, slider. It is a slider. Means image will automatically shuffle after some time. Okay. So carousel means sometime in website you see the caption image is changing. Okay. So that how you are going to get a ready-made carousel through BootStrap. That is our topic we are going to discuss now. Carousel means slideshow of the images in your website, like that you can call it. Okay, understood?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Now before going to the detail of the BootStrap carousel, let's see how the carousel code is written in BootStrap. So for that purpose, what I will do, I'll do one thing. I'll open a carousel.
Sir, for carousel, sir, is it a GIF image or
Any
you
type
will
of image?
embed
Any
2
type
or
of
3?
carousel support all type of images, no problem. JPG,
Okay.
GIF, PNG, no issues. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now I'll first run the application of the carousel, and then I'm going to tell you what is for which purpose. So if I run it, this is your carousel. This is in a carousel you have, can you see there is a small arrow to the right hand side? If you click on that, you can go to next page. If you click over here, you can come back to the previous page, or after some time also it automatically go to the next page. So this is how you are going to get this happen through BootStrap without writing much logic of coding in JavaScript or CSS. So BootStrap is going to give you that ready-made feature to us where we can add it in our website and make the images shuffle or make the images shown as a slideshow. Okay. So one thing you remember, see, can you tell me to make a carousel work in your website, first thing what you need? First thing what you need? You need image, right? Without image, can you do carousel?
No, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
sir.
So how many image you want to put it in the carousel? Suppose 3 image, 4 image, 5 image. You want to make a carousel of 20 image. It's up to you. So your carousel, to make it run, first of all, you need some images with you, and that images you have to make it a part of the carousel code. Can you tell me which are the images for this carousel? Line number you tell.
20, 21, 23.
Yeah, 20,
22 and 26.
20, 23 and 26. Okay, so that means first thing what we will have in a inner div, you will have 3 images or you will have 20 images. It's up to you. How many images there, that many div you have to make it. Clear? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now every div which is having images should have the class carousel item, because these are the carousel item. Means what you are going to shuffle. You are going to shuffle the image, so that is the item of the carousel. So that's why carousel item you have to mention for every image which are wrapped under a div. Got it? Clear? Okay.
So what is the active?
Yeah, active means which is the, when you load the page, which page it should display first.
Okay.
Okay, so active means when you load the page, it should start from which page, which image. It should start from which image. So it is telling mountain over here. If I make it active, Control X, and if I make it to suppose achievement, I'll make it as achievement. Now I'll run it. See, you'll get an achievement picture in the page load. Later on, it will change. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how many image you want to place in the carousel? That many div you have to create, and in the inner div, all the image in every inner div you will have the images tag. Okay, and how many image you want to place? That many image tag would be there. That is this part is done. This part is done. Then that together all the images which are under one div has to be another wrapper div. Okay, and that wrapper div class should be carousel inner. That you have to little bit means this is the way you have to either remember or you have to refer and you have to use it. So 10 div images are there, 10 div with 10 images, all will be wrapped in another div, outer div, and that div should be carousel inner. That means carousel, within the carousel inner, all these images are there. Fine. Okay. Okay, next. Now we have got our carousel. This thing is the next is what? Div carousel example indicator. Okay. See here, you can't see. There in a carousel, you are going to see option 3 dots are there. In a carousel, you are going to see an option called 3 dots are there. These 3 dot, through this 3 dot also randomly you can go to the any image. So that 3 dots you are going to get it with the ordered list and with this code. Okay, so I'll show you in an example. I'll show you how these 3 dot appear. So see in a mobile, in a home screen, there would be some 3 or 4 dot would be there. No, so that from one screen you can go to the other screen. Home screen to the second screen to, from the second screen to the home screen, or home screen to the third screen. Similar fashion in carousel also there would be 3 dot placed, and we the first dot is represent the first image, second dot represent the second image, and third dot represent the third image. So which dot you click randomly, you can go to that particular image in your carousel. Okay, and then before that, what you should do, you need to have a div, and this div is nothing but the total outer div, so which will have all the carousel inside of it. Now the total outer div have some ID, and it is going to have the class carousel slide. So so if the carousel slide is not there, if I make it 1, and if it is not there, see, you can, what you can do, you can, using arrow, you can go to the next slide. But if you wait for some time, the sliding effect will go away. It will not work. So carousel slide is a class which helps us to shuffle the image after particular time automatically. Again, I'll go back there. I'll make it work. Come over here. Click on this. See, now you wait for some time. I am not doing anything. After some time, it will shuffle. What happened? I have not saved it, is it? Carousel and slide. Control Z.
Yes, sir, it's work.
You have to make it active here. Control S. Go over here. Wait for some time. Let me see if it is changing or not automatically. No, it is not changing. Okay, fine. We'll check it out. Okay, next thing what we will do. Now you have the button. There are two buttons is there in the carousel. Can you tell me what are these buttons in the carousel? There are two buttons.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Background is, sir, change.
Sorry.
Sir, in background, it's changing image.
Yeah, it is changing. Yeah, it is changing. I think the cursor has to be down. Then it is changing. Yeah. So cursor, if the cursor is on the top of the screen, it is not changing. Put the cursor away from the screen, it is changing. Yes, thank you. Now you guys tell me what is the purpose of this button? There are two buttons are there. What is this two button in the carousel? Can anybody tell me that?
On the
Next
previous
and previous.
image and next image.
Yes, you have a greater than sign and you have a lesser than sign. Means next image symbol and the previous image symbol. So these two comes from the button. So that is the code which has been written over there. Okay, button 1 and then button 2. So to work the button the way we want it, so that when you click it, it will go to the next image. For that we have something to work on. What you do? First button will have icon, which is a lesser than sign or greater than sign. So span class carousel control previous icon. So this is the class which is going to give you the lesser than sign as a symbol for your button. Okay, got it? And then there is another class, span class visually hidden previous. So in a lesser than sign, which is symbolically telling go to the previous slide, you can add the previous text beside that. So if you don't want to be display the previous text as a previous symbol with the previous symbol, you make it visually hidden. You don't need to display it. Okay, so that means button, what I'll make it as a button, I'll make the button as a lesser than sign, and the previous content I don't want to show for that button, and the button should have which classes to be used, carousel control previous. So this makes the previous behavior attached to that button. And next thing is what? Type is button. There is a data BS target. Can anybody tell me what it is telling? So data BS target is carousel example indicator. Any idea what this will do? See, where is the carousel example indicator is there? This one. Carousel example indicator. So carousel example indicator means 3 dot. So any dot you press, it is going to, for that button, data BS target. Okay, that means what through this what it is telling, whenever you are click on the button, it is for the previous button, because of this class, it's going to take you to the previous image. For the next button to click, for this class, it's going to get you to the next image. And how it is going to go to the next image, for that we have this target property. Okay, this is what is carousel is all about. So any questions on this? Any alteration you want to do on the carousel, you want to see or you want to experiment, that you can do it. I'll share the carousel code right away. So carousel means what? Carousel means slideshow of images in the website. Nowadays, most of the website have the slideshow of the images. How many images you want? That many div, and that many inner div will be under outer div, which is having class carousel inner. Then before that, we have an ordered list where the 3 dot would be there, so that you can traverse any image to any other image randomly. Then everything would be together in a outer div, which will have the class carousel and slide. And on the image, I need to have 2 buttons, next and post, that I will get it from here, these 2 buttons. That said, your carousel understanding is done. You can keep now this code, you can refer, and in your website, wherever carousel need to be implemented, you can do it. Fine, guys, okay? Is this much is okay?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood it?
Yes, sir.
The more and more you explore on it, more you are going to implement this carousel in your website, the better you will become in the carousel. But actually, all this bootstrap coding, you don't have to remember or don't have to by heart, because by hearting all the classes is a difficult job. It is not possible. We are going to refer, but we should aware that what class is doing what, so that as and when some functionality to make it disappear, I can delete the class. Some functionality to make it appear, I can add the class. So that much knowledge we should have as a developer. Okay. So this much is there in the carousel. Then what is next? Okay, there are some additional points are there on the carousel. You please go through this additional point, so that theoretically you will be better in the carousel. The bootstrap carousel is a slideshow for cycling within a group of content built with CSS, 3D transform, and JavaScript. See, if you don't have this carousel concept in Bootstrap, then what you should do to make to create something like carousel? You have to write some code in CSS, you have to write some code in JavaScript, and you need to have very good in JavaScript, you need to have very good in CSS. Then only you can write some code which is going to be the carousel implementation. But Bootstrap is giving this ready-made to us. Within the Bootstrap library, we have some JavaScript functions, and in the Bootstrap CSS library, we have some 3D transformation property. Through that, we are just calling the classes and getting the job done. Okay. It runs with a group of images, text, HTML element. It also incorporates support of previous next button. Carousels don't automatically normalize slide dimension. Okay, so carousel don't, so the size of the image is not going to get automatically changed unless and until you change it manually. So these are the important points of the carousel which you should be aware of. Then Bootstrap forms. So the next component of Bootstrap is nothing but Bootstrap form. So what is form, guys? Anybody? What is form in HTML? What we call it as form in HTML? What is its purpose?
Login, register, contact.
Yeah, so
take the details from the user.
Yeah, whenever you want to take the input from the user, you need to go with the form. Okay, now see, why the form is another component of Bootstrap? Because Bootstrap is giving some ready-made classes for form also, so that easily you can get a professional look and feel of the form. Usually you can get attractive forms just using the Bootstrap classes. So that's why the Bootstrap has a one component for the form. That means Bootstrap have classes for the form. Yeah. So now this is an example where they have email, taking email, address, taking address, address to city, see, to make your form look alike how it is there over here, it is a very difficult job for the developer. You need to do so many CSS styling. He has to use, so then only he will get this kind of professional look and feel of the form. But since Bootstrap is there with us, not to worry. Easily, this kind of professional look and feel for our forms we can get it. How we can get it? With what classes of the Bootstrap we will be using? That is the topic of now which we are going to discuss. Okay, fine, forms. Now let's go to the form demo. We have a form demo where it is, yeah, form. Okay, go for form demo. Right click. Yeah, you have as exactly like the way we have seen in the PowerPoint, same way this code is giving us this form to us. Now how to make this form like this? So we are going to take a help of the Bootstrap. So how we are going to take a help of the Bootstrap? There is a outer div which is nothing but called as container. Always it is a good practice to have the total HTML code in a container div. Okay, then you have some H3. What is H3? Enter detail below to change profile. That is coming from H3. Then you have a form tag. Okay, so we are learning the form component of the Bootstrap. That means your HTML should have a form tag, and for that form you are going to use the Bootstrap classes. Okay, yeah. Now we have a form class row G3. So G3 means gutter 3. G3 means gutter 3. That means between the two, what is it called? Between the two input content or input element of the form, there should be some gutter, there should be some gap. Okay. Now, can you tell me what for this row, for this 14, for this, okay, for form is a row, fine, class row. So that means total form is a class row. Then there is a this div which is expanding column MD6. Anybody can tell me what does it mean?
Sir, it should take 6 columns.
It should take 6 columns when
it exceeds medium.
Yes, when it exceeds medium, it should take 6 columns. And what should take 6 columns? Can you tell me what is there?
The email ID.
Email.
Yes. So we have two things. One is email label and email input field. So these two combined together should take 6 columns when the size is medium and above. So that is what. So whatever label is there, the email is a label, and email label should be under label tag, and then the name of the label should come from the for attribute, and the name of the and the for will have the some text. Now you after that label, you are going to have the input box. The input box ID should be same as that of the label for value, because the ID of this of the input field, which is same as that of the value of the for attribute, it makes the connection between these two. So that means this label is for this input box, this input box for associated with this label. Because of that reason, this ID value will be same in the input field with the label for attribute. Now, I want to have a email input box. So for that purpose, what I will do, I'll have a input type email. So this is a HTML value to get a email box class. See, this is important. This is a Bootstrap thing. Class form control is nothing but a Bootstrap class. So what it does, if I just change it to control 1, and if I run it and see, just for form control, the look and feel has got entirely changed, and it is not looking at all good now. So that means what? Whenever you have an input field, that input field or input element, you are going to attach the class form control, and that form control is going to give you a professional look for that input control. Okay, so that means how many input elements are there? All should be associated with a class form control. Okay, so all the input element. And every input element will have a, say, label is optional. If you don't want to give label, that is also fine, but better every input element should be preceded with the label, for that label which will tell us that what we should enter in the input field. So here email is telling, here you have to write email. Address is telling, here you have to write address. Address 2 is telling, here you have to write address 2. City is telling, so email, address, address to city, these are all label, and below to every label we have an input element, and every input element should be class form control. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any confusion here? So what you will be using to get a bootstrap enabled form, you are going to copy this code, and then as per the requirement you are going to change it. Suppose I don't want email, I want first name. So here I'll make it as, instead of email, I'll make it as first name. First name. You do Control S, and if you come here, see, it's going to give you first name. And if you write something here and sign in, so please include, see why it is telling @ to be, can you tell me why it is telling @ to be included? Because of
Because
which?
input type email.
Yeah, because type is email. If you make it as text, then no problem. So it is as per your requirement wise, you are going to change the input field and the label. So now I make it as text. Now you will not get any error like that. Okay, all these things you are aware of, fine. So we'll make it as email. Okay, next thing is what, after giving all the input thing. So see, here it is column 6, here it is column 6. Can you tell me what would be the first row? First row will display by what?
Sir, email.
First row should be displayed with what content?
Email and password.
Email and password.
Yeah. Because why? Because for the inner div is having 6 column, and the next inner div is also 6 columns. So 6 plus 6, 12. That means the first row is filled. That means these two div will be displayed in the first row. Now, what will happen for the third div? Tell me.
Sir, it will cover.
Only this label address.
Yeah, so it will have label, address, and how it is going to be spread on the screen?
Sir, within full screen, sir.
Yeah, within full screen, full wall, you will get a full one column. Column means the address would be placed in the full screen width-wise. Why? Because you have given column 12. So when you give column 2, is there any space beside that? Any space is there? Can I keep anything? No.
No,
Because
sir.
now, because 12 column is the maximum column size, you cannot have anything beside, before that or after that on the same row. Similar fashion, you have another div which is also column 12, and here address line 2. So that means this one. Total width, it is going to be placed, spread across the full width, and address to is the label, and input text box is input. Text box is nothing but the input element. Like that, you have, now you tell me what this will do. There is
Sir,
having
will have 3 columns.
6, 4, and yeah, you will have, very good. 6 is a 1, 4 is second, and 2 is 1. So that means these 3 is going to be in one row, and it will be distributed into 6:4:3. So that means this 6 into 4 is to 4 is to 6:4, 6 into 4 is to 2. So the city, state, and zip with a label and input box, it is just placed in the 4th row with a distribution 6:4:2. Next, what you have? Next, you have the last column, which is a column 12, and this is a checkbox. This is a checkbox. So you are going to have only checkbox with a text and checkbox, which will be spread across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row, and there will be only one element because its width is 12. And at the end, you are going to have the sign in button. So that's it. With all these form, so what is the main class or CSS class which gives us this attractive look or appealing look? Nothing but form control. Form control, for every input you are going to use it, and together with input and the label, you put it in a div and make it as a column div, and then give the screen size and give the column width, and based on that it will display how you the layout you are going to make it up, and you are going to display how you want it. Any questions so far, guys? So this you need to little bit practice. If you practice and if you just explore with different classes by disabling it and enabling it, you will got the clear understanding. So far, any questions, guys?
Yes. Can you open that screen, right? With the
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah. Yes,
How is
Adesh?
this default address being shown? Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, default
Main
address 123 Main Street. So you check it in the code. Default password column input box. See, default placeholder. There is a placeholder. This one placeholder attribute is going to have some text. That would be the default text, default address. Yeah, in any input field you can have a placeholder and you can give some default value. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, fine. We'll go for the next topic now. So which plugin is used to cycle through elements like a slideshow? Can you tell me?
Carousel.
Carousel. Yeah, carousel is the carousel. BootStrap Flex utility manage the layout and alignment of item inside the Flex layout by using BootStrap Flex utility classes. So what is a Flex utility classes? This one. BootStrap Flex utility helps in quickly managing the layout, alignment, and sizing of grid columns, navigation components, and more with a full suite of responsive Flexbox utilities. Let's see what does it mean. Okay, fine. We'll go to the Flex demo. Flex utility. Yeah, display Flex utility. Okay. See, when you can have a so there is a actually. Can you tell me what empty means here? Empty 5, empty -5. In it there is a outer div. Yeah, margin top 5. Can you tell me what P-2? Padding 2. So it is so 5. It is nothing but a margin top 5 into some pixel. I forgot what is the maybe 0.25. So 5 into 0.25 pixel should be the margin of this div from the screen. Okay. Then you have a div. You have a multiple div, and every inner div will have 3 innermost div, and the 3 innermost div is going to have some text. Flex item 1, flex item 2, flex item 3. Now these div we are going to give a look and feel for the BG info. Okay, and then what I will do, every div I'm going to make it as flex row BG info MB3. So let's run it first. You will get flex item 1, flex item 2, flex item 3. So 3 div. There are 3 div. There are 3 div over here. All the 3. See, what is 3 div is a what type of element? Block or inline? Guys?
Block.
Div is a
inline.
No, it's a block. No.
So div is a block.
Div is a block. By default, div will come one below another. Okay. So if you have a 3 div, all the 3 div will come one below another. It will not be one beside another. So that means in the output we see, though that div is in block, that means comes one below another, but it is coming in the horizontal one row. So what is making this 3 div come in a one row? Maybe flex row is the class. So I'll make it 1, and then I'll save it. See this? Okay, that is not the one. Maybe deflex. See, D flex is the D is nothing but div. D is symbolizing or representing a div. D hyphen flex, that is a, what is it called? That is a bootstrap utility class through which you can make the div which are inner to that div placed in one beside another in one row. Okay, then BG info. What BG info is doing, it is giving some look and feel, I think. So if you go over here, click on this, some look and feel has got changed because of the BG info. If you go something else, if you go for BG success, suppose success, see, you are what you are getting a div with a background color green. You are getting a div with a background color green. So that is a BG success is doing. So that means background. So BG means background, and in a background, what color you want to give? Info, no color. Success, if you go for danger,
Red color.
Red color, you will get it as a background. Or the rest of the portion of the outer div, where the inner div is not there, it will be red color, like that. Okay, similar fashion. So these are the different utility classes are there. By exploring these classes, you will get to know, or you will be able to do the alignment of the content of the website. So these are the things are there. So if you go over last one, if I see deflex, justify content evenly border. So last one is telling what? Go to the last one. So which is the last one? Flex item, flex item, flex item. So that means what? There are 3 div and they are evenly with the same margin and padding left. It is going to be placed on the screen. So how it is happened? Because of which classes justify content evenly. So if you don't give this one, I'll make it as 1. Control S. See, all the 3 div now is not being placed in a particular row in a evenly fashion. It is all together. It came in the left hand side. So now if I change it to back to evenly, Control S, you will get it. So it is spread across evenly on the particular row. Okay, so these are the justify content evenly, justify content around, justify content between, justify content center. So center, what it will do? Justify 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you have justify content center, the innermost 3 div will be placed together in the center. What about this one? Justify center, justify center, center. So that means what? Which is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, justify. Okay, we'll go for justify content start. So justify content start means what? Which one is having the justified content start div? Can you tell me?
Light blue one, sir.
Sorry?
6 from the bottom.
On the
6
left
from the
side.
bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, correct. This one is the justify start. What would be the justify end then? Which is the justify end?
Fifth one from the bottom.
5th from the bottom.
Yeah, 5th from the bottom. So like that, there are some justify which are bootstrap utilities are there. So which is going to help us to making the layout or aligning the content wherever you want in that particular row. Okay. Okay, next we'll go for the next slide. These are the some classes are there in the bootstrap for that, which comes under what is it called? Flex property. Okay, then there is another bootstrap display utility. So in a CSS, there is a property called display, and that display property can have value like inline, block, none, or inline block, so or flex. So like that, bootstrap is going to give you some of its own display property, which is called as .d. Okay, .d. D is the name, and then hyphen value, and then for the size. So D hyphen value for size. So that means what? D hyphen breakpoint, then value, then for if you give, let me see one example, then it will be clear for you. So the syntax of display utility of Bootstrap is what? D hyphen value for access. So what is value? We'll come to that just in a bit. D hyphen breakpoint value for small, medium, large, and all. So what does it mean? It means Bootstrap display utility. Okay. See over here, what I have D inline is a text is there inside a div, and inside that div I have attached the class called D inline p-2 bg primary text white. Tell me, just guess, because of this styling, how the D inline would be displayed, guys? If you run it, see D inline, blue color D inline, background blue, white text, and it is in a rectangle shape, and it is on the left hand side of the other D inline. So how it makes is make it come to the same line because of D inline. If I go for 1 Control S, come to this, see now this div is by default block, so it will become one below another. So D inline is a class in Bootstrap which is help us to place the multiple div which are one below another in the code, but in a output wise it would be one beside another. Then P2, what is P2? Any idea? P2 means padding 2. So over here, which part is P2 is over here? Can you tell me in this first row, which part, what if means for the P2 where you are getting the effect, where you are seeing the effect?
Inside that div.
Yeah, it would be the P2 is nothing but the content and the container distance. So D inline is placed from the top border little bit far, bottom border little bit far, or it is in the middle. So that content you can make it in the middle in a box using P2 means padding 2. So similar fashion you have a now BG primary. There is a BG primary. BG primary means background primary. So primary background is what? Blue color. If you want to change it to green, go for success. So it will become green like this. So we got D inline means the D would be aligned in the same line. P2 means padding 2. BG success or primary or info means background color, and text white. So text white is going to make the text color white. If you don't give it text white something 1 Control S, see you'll not get the text color as white. It will be some black color which will be inside the div. So you are going to remove this, make it text color white only by using the class text hyphen white. That's it. They like that. They have all the multiple divs with a different background color, with a different padding. And now these two divs are blocked. So D block, these two divs are D hyphen inline means these two div would be same line. D hyphen block means these two div in the two different row. If you go here, see D block, two different row. Then we have a DLG none, D none DLG block. So that can you tell me what will happen for this? I have a hide on LG wider screen. See, this div is going to get hided. Why? When the screen size is more than large. When the screen size is more than large, then this hide on LG will not hide on. See, there is no, you can't see this text. Hide on LG and wider screen, you can't see this text because it has got a class. When the screen size is LG and above, don't show it, display none. If you don't make it like this, so it will be now, see, hide on LG and wider screen, it is going to get displayed. Okay, so sometimes on some particular size, I don't want to display something, or before that particular size, I want to display something. For that purpose, you will be using this thing. And the last two div is what? D flex. Flex means it would be one beside another. Then it is I am a flexbox container. Then I am a inline flexbox container. Yeah. So first one we make it as flex, but the second one will make it as inline flex. Inline flex means it will not be in the same row, it will be in the different row. Whenever and then there will be a padding to BG second, same thing. Flex means make it place the both the div in the same row, padding to, and give the whatever background color you want to give from by using the BG and then the BG secondary, BG info, BG success. By that you give the different color for the background. That is it over here. Next, what we have, it is almost once you have learned the concept of the Bootstrap, then it is just a playing with the classes. Okay, nothing else is there in it. Yeah, this much is there in today's session. So if you have guys any queries, you can ask me. If you have anywhere doubt, or shall I ask question to you guys, you will answer. Any questions, guys? Any queries? So now if some interviewer asks you what is Bootstrap, you will tell it is an open source and it is a framework, JavaScript and CSS framework. Whatever we have discussed
Sir, one
now.
question, sir. It's,
Yeah, Rishikesh.
Roshan actually.
Okay, Roshan.
Sir, it's a CSS framework or JS framework?
It is a combination of CSS and JS. It is actually a JS framework called, but it is a CSS library. Don't call it as a framework, CSS library. Okay. Bootstrap is actually a JavaScript library which has got CSS JavaScript framework which has got CSS library. Yeah, any other question?
Sir,
Yeah.
in this form, any libraries to capture for capture?
Sorry, a little bit louder, Rishikesh. I can't hear you. Bit louder, Rishikesh. Rishikesh, I can't. Okay, fine. Any other questions, guys? See, what are the things we have learned from the beginning? Can one of you tell me that? Or randomly I'll ask you what we have learned first in the morning session.
Button.
Sorry?
Grid system.
Button and nav bar.
Yeah, but whoever remember what you tell me. We have learned button and nav bar. Okay, next.
Grid system.
Sorry?
Grid system.
Grid system. We have learned grid system, 12 column grid. Fine. Next.
The table.
Table.
Yeah, table and its associated classes. Good. Next.
Grid system, breakpoint.
Grid system and then
Slider.
breakpoint. We'll have learned breakpoint. Yes. What is small?
Bootstrap
What is extra
image.
small? Yeah, image. Yeah, image. What is it called? Image classes in Bootstrap. Next.
Bootstrap components.
Yeah, Bootstrap component. So under Bootstrap component, what are the topics are there? Were there?
Navbar, button,
Yeah.
card, console, and forms.
Very good. Yes. Okay. Anything else you have learned apart from this? Bootstrap utility classes. And carousel also you have learned, right? Form, yes, form. Okay. So with this much knowledge, if you just put some your effort and time, you can become a very good Bootstrap developer. Nobody can stop you. Okay. with this node, I'm going to, or I'll just check whether Sangeeta ma'am is there or not. We are going to release, or what I will do, I'll give you half an hour time. And in this half an hour time, all the other practice demo, you just practice it out. Okay, so carousel demo you have not practiced, and then form demo you have not practiced, and the utilities also you have not practiced. So I'll put it in the mentor notes, practice this thing for next half an hour, then we'll release the sprint. Okay.
Yeah,
While
let them practice for some 1 hour also. So
yeah,
we can
1 hour.
release
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock. Let them work on the last sprint in the evening.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So the form is template referring a reactive form?
No, it is not. It is a HTML form. It is not a template or reactive. It is for a. It is not an Angular form. No.
Okay, sir.
It is a HTML form. Angular has a reactive form or template form, but in HTML there is a normal form only. Okay.
Sir,
Hmm.
how many sprints are today?
Today I think we'll be releasing one sprint only.
One.
Yeah, one.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Another 1 hour. You just practice it out and let us know if you have any doubt.
Sir, can you share the code?
Yeah, I'll share. Yes.
Recording stopped.
Yes, guys. I have shared the code. Please start practicing. Practice navbar properly, because using the navbar you are going to use you are going to work on the next sprint, so you have to be very thorough with the navbar. Guys, let's go for evening break. We'll resume our session at 4:10. Okay, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, we'll go for a break for 10 minutes. Yes, those who have joined back, please continue practicing. Guys, all of you have come back from the break.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Continue practicing the demo code which are shared in mentor notes. So till 5 o'clock you do the practice. Don't waste this time with doing something else. Keep on practicing the code. Experiment on the code, what has been written by different classes and all, so that you will get to know what class is doing what. Okay, so majorly your focus should be on navbar, carousel, and the form related classes in bootstrap. So these are the places your focus would be more. Okay, because using this only you will be working on the next sprint.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, everything you need to practice, but these are the important which we will be using directly just after some time when you will be working when the sprint is going to get released. Try to understand as much as possible of all the classes of number. Try to understand as much as possible all the classes of form. Try to understand as much as possible what the classes are classes of carousel is doing and how it is happening like that. You can create a demo carousel also in your system by having your by having 3 images of yours. Means 3 images of your system. You can create your own carousels also. Keep on practicing till 5 o'clock without any disturb, and then 5 o'clock will release the sprint. Then you can start working on the sprint as well.